All right, let's get it popping. Of course, tonight's a big night, Game 4 of the NBA Finals. And look, let's face it, if Denver wins tonight, this thing is over. Whether they close it out in 5 or 6, if the Denver Nuggets go up 3-1, Miami is done. I think we all can agree on that. Would you agree on that, Rob?
Yeah, I would be hard-pressed to believe that they turn it around and come back to win this series. I just don't see it.
I mean, it'd be one thing like with Boston. Boston was, in most people's opinion, certainly the more talented team, and in many people's opinion, just the better team. So when they're down 3-0, or as it got to 3-1, 3-2, 3-3, you could see why people thought they would actually make history, right? This situation, Denver's the better team. Denver's the more talented team. So there's no reason to think that if they go up 3-1, that they're not going to continue rolling and take care of the Miami Heat. But hey, that's why you play the games. And so tonight, one thing about Miami, they do have incredible heart, the great coaching, and they can get hot from Trey. So it should be a good game. We're excited about it. And Rob, of course, the star of the series, Jamal Murray's playing phenomenally, and he is really putting himself on the map for those that didn't know how great he was. But, of course, Nikola Jokic is the star, the superstar, the super-duper star. His numbers, Rob, for the series, 33 points, 14 rebounds, and 9 assists a game, 59% shooting, 85% from 3, 44% from 3, and 85% from the foul line. So he's just dominating in all forms or in fashions. And you have a big thesis statement you want to make.
Yeah, you know what, Chris? I get it. A lot of people are late to the party. A lot of people didn't believe in Denver, and I get all that. They had never won anything, never been to the finals. But I am a little beside myself when I think about the writers and some of the ex-players. I mean, Kendrick Perkins basically went on an all-out campaign to make sure that Jokic didn't win a third MVP. Like he even had a thing with J.J. Redick, Chris, that it was race maybe involved.
He said it was race because I think he said the 3 Rob G, correct me if I'm wrong, the 3 lowest scoring MVPs, like that season they didn't score many points, were all white. Jokic, Dirk, Nowitzki,
Steve
Nash. Right. And then it would be Jokic had he won it this year.
And obviously we know the Mark Jackson, a guy who covers the league and does all the games, somehow left him off the ballot. I'm not saying that was intentional, but it looked weird. And then the writers. Chris, I'm not saying that, Embiid had a horrible season and there's no way he should have won the MVP or anything like that, because it was close. Jokic had better analytical numbers, but they were close, Chris. PER. Yeah, they were close. Right. So I'm not even disputing that or that there was a conversation. But he got trounced in the third try, trounced. He only got 15 first-place votes. And I think now everybody's talking about him and how great he is and, oh, my God, and how he's changed the center position and, Jokic. They can't believe it. Triple-doubles at halftime or almost a triple-doubles at halftime. He had 41 points the other night. He's almost unstoppable, unguardable. You want to double-team him or whatever. He passes to his teammates, just all the other stuff. And I think there was a disservice done to this guy for no reason.
So you think he should have won?
Yeah, I do. I really do. And I'm going to tell you why.
All right,
because the numbers were close, and he had the best. He was on the best team, and they.
No, he wasn't.
And they had
the 4th best record in the league.
They had the best record in the Western Conference.
Yeah, but it's a league thing. Embiid's record was better.
They led the whole entire year in the West. And
it's not just a Western.
Okay, but I'm just saying, I thought that they really discounted him and the Nuggets because of the postseason or because of what they hadn't done, rather than just basing it off the regular season. I do think that he was slighted, and the voting proves it to me because it should have been a tighter race than it was. That's
Rob Parker, stop it! You are being a prisoner of the moment, pure and simple. Now, if you want to argue Jokic is the best player in the world, no argument here. You could have argued that before the playoffs started, and I would have given you more of an argument, but it was arguable, no doubt. But what happens in the postseason, this season, or even in the past, has nothing to do with the regular season award that was awarded this year to Joel Embiid. Nothing. You act like this is the first time this has happened. Hakeem Olajuwon destroyed David Robinson in the playoffs the year David Robinson won it. Michael Jordan only won 5 MVPs. I'm sure there were years he disproved everybody wrong or proved everybody wrong in the playoffs, so to speak, by your thinking. LeBron James, 4 MVPs. We know all these guys could have had more. Tim Duncan's got 2. Shaq's got 1. Kobe's got 1. Like, no. I'm a voter. And I knew how great Nikola Jokic was, but I've never voted for the MVP in all my 25 some odd years of voting for it, where it was just who's the best player in the league. Let's just give it to the best player in the league. There are a lot of factors, and I weighed them heavily. And so for me, I don't feel bad about my vote at all, because some of the things I took into consideration, you said Denver had the best record in the West. So what? They had the 4th best record in the league. And on top of that, they had the 11th best road record in the league. 11th. They weren't even a winning team on the road.
Chris, this guy almost averaged a triple-double.
Rob, can I finish? I'll listen to you.
I'm just saying.
He didn't average a triple-double. And then Russell Westbrook averaged a triple-double 4 times. He won 1 MVP. Joel Embiid led the league with 33 points a game. That's the highest point total for a center since Bob McAdoo in 1975. That's 48 years. Joel Embiid got to the free throw line twice as much as Nikola Jokic and scored 9 more points per game than Nikola Jokic. Nikola Jokic, Rob, he averaged 24 points a game. You know how many MVPs have averaged 24 points a game or less in the last 16 years and won the MVP? One. His scoring went down 3 points. His rebounding went down 2 rebounds per game. I mean, Joel Embiid not only led the league in scoring, rebounded obviously at a high rate, was clearly a better defender than Nikola Jokic. His team had the 3rd best record in the NBA and was tied for the 2nd best road record in the NBA. And in terms of clutch performances, Embiid's numbers offensively in terms of scoring and defensively in terms of block shots were better than Jokic's. And when they did meet the one time in the regular season, he embarrassed Jokic. Almost doubled him up, had 47 points to Jokic's 24, had 18 rebounds to Jokic's 8, and Philadelphia won the game. And Jokic was guarding Embiid when Embiid was facing him up, blowing by him, dunking, doing whatever he wanted to with him. Now, has Jokic proven in the playoffs to be the better player? Absolutely. But for the regular season, I wouldn't have, anybody that voted for Jokic, I wasn't going to scream to the high heaven, oh, it's ridiculous. But Joel Embiid, in my view, and obviously in the view of the voters, rightly deserved the MVP award. And what happens at this point, that's like saying, Jamal Murray should have been 1st team All-NBA or 2nd team or 3rd team. He didn't make any All-NBA teams. So it's just the playoffs has nothing to do with it.
Totally disagree, and especially
how we voted before the playoffs.
Especially, you didn't even have him. You had him as your third pick.
Yeah, because Giannis had a great year too. I can give you the same thing about Giannis.
Giannis got less votes than he did, but you had him as your third pick. No, I'm talking about
I had Giannis second, Jokic third.
You had Jokic
and I don't have
third.
a problem with that.
Jokic's scoring and assist total, right? Point total was higher than Embiid's scoring and assists.
Because he gets more assists.
Jokic also had a higher win share, PR, and box
You don't
plus
even know what those
minus.
mean.
I'm talking about the analytics. Those are what people look
I
at.
don't go by analytics.
So all I'm saying is, I don't think a two-time MVP didn't get like a benefit of the doubt. They ran from the guy because they didn't want to give him this whole thing about LeBron never won two. It was a personal thing.
Why you just
to
say
look
LeBron?
at.
What about Jordan?
LeBron and Jordan.
What about Shaq? What about all these guys?
But it was personal that they didn't want to give this guy and put him in rarefied air. They didn't want to put him in.
If it was somebody else, they would have done it? They wouldn't have minded it? If it was somebody else getting three straight?
If this was his second or first and he had those numbers, they wouldn't have run it from him. It was about setting precedent and making him do something that nobody's done since Larry Bird. That's really what it came down to.
I will
that's
say
what
if you're going to do something like that, then you do have to be head and shoulders above the other competitors, and he wasn't. I just made a strong argument for Embiid. Somebody could make a strong argument for Giannis. They had the best record in the league with Chris Middleton, the second best player, being out most of the season. I mean, they were all close. Like I said, I wouldn't have yelled at anybody for voting for Jokic or Giannis or Embiid. I mean, I was surprised it was such a landslide, largely because ESPN had released, its poll, a month or two before the voting ended. And it's probably about 2 months, and it was a landslide for Jokic. And then it changed. I mean, if you want to jump on, Kendrick Perkins bringing up race, that's fine, because I'm not bringing up race, and that had nothing to do with my voting. But I think you're a prisoner of the moment, and you also are being, you yourself weren't, you don't have a vote, but you weren't saying it was Jokic.
No, but I thought...
who would you have voted for?
I thought it was closer. I was stunned.
We all thought it was close.
I thought it was stunned. And when I looked at that, I'm like, this has something more to do with people not wanting... There's no way he should have had 15 votes with those numbers and even the analytics. I was shocked at how poorly he did. I was.
You keep talking about the numbers. I mean, Embiid's PR was like right there. Right there.
No, who was it, first or second, Chris? Was it first or second?
Oh, Embiid, Jokic just was first by a tenth of a point.
Yeah, that's it. That's all you need to do to win the race is finish first. It don't matter.
But okay, well, how about Embiid scoring 9 more points a game?
Fine,
what you got to say about that?
But you talking about, well, it was right there. No, it wasn't.
Because you act like it's a big difference.
Jokic was in first place. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, so we should just go by PR.
I didn't say that. I'm just saying.
You just said it in so many words. Prisoner of the moment. 877-99 on Fox. Your turn to weigh in. Should Nikola Jokic have won the MVP award? It was personal. As that.
It was personal.
Well, okay, Rob's saying it was personal. Because I don't think Rob is saying he definitely should have won. He's just saying it was personal. Look, I can only speak for myself. It wasn't personal. I just gave you the reasons I voted for Joel Embiid. And there was several of them.